last night. I met this girl called Emily. Felt like time stood still. Oh, no, what are you saying? No fault.
So when are you seeing her again?
Don't know, no message yet. Won't send.
It's missing a digit.
What do you mean it's missing a digit? It's not funny.
As soon as I saw your face, from that moment I knew I wanted more.
Good morning. I'm looking for a student. Emily? She's funny, smart, she drinks beer, bottles, got her ears about here. She's like, oh,
You've got 2 seconds to leave before I call security, all right?
yeah, okay, all right.
You said we take it slow, now it's go, go, go. And
You have 3 weeks left to prove that romantic attachments cause madness.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for this girl called Emily.
He's the case study I've been waiting for. He's my very own Stanford prison experiment. I'll help you find her.
Why would you want to do that? She was going to a party on Canal Street. All right, mate, I'm looking for information. Once if I get you 20 quid.
Can I retract? I didn't get any information, but I got us free drinks.
Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so this is fun.
Yeah, it's hard to sit there and watch your own work in front of a room full of DPs.
Yes. There's no DPs here, don't worry. This was your first project with Alicia, is that right?
Yeah.
How did you get involved in it? How
Yeah,
did it start for you?
It's her first feature, and yeah, they'd asked me, to meet for it about a year before, and I'd passed because I was on another job, so I wasn't available, and kind of thought nothing of it. And then the film got pushed a year, and then a year later they asked me again, and I was like, okay. I wasn't sure at first because rom-coms are not really my vibe, I have to admit. I was quite hesitant. I was like, oh no, I don't want to go down this rom-com
It wasn't
road.
on your list of things to...
No, rom-coms and horror. But as soon as I met her in the interview, she was just amazing, and I loved her instantly. And I just, in that moment, I was like, God, I really want this job actually. So then, and we got on straight away. We just clicked. Yeah, did a couple of interviews, and then off we went.
How much prep and shoot? What was your shooting schedule? And how much time did you get on the job, basically?
I know the shoot was 7 weeks, and I think we probably had about the same in prep. But we originally were like half prep in London, Manchester, so we were going up and down.
Right.
Because we didn't relocate to Manchester till like mid-prep, I guess.
Oh, really? Wow.
So we were doing half, we'd go up for a couple of days and scout and go round and round and round, and then kind of come back to London and meet and spend like days together and go back up and down. We did that for a few weeks, and then eventually all moved there.
Wow. So actually you didn't get that much time on site, really?
I mean, I think I had about 5 weeks,
right.
Maybe 4 or 5 weeks there, maybe a bit longer. But yeah, like a decent amount of time, to be honest. We could have probably started recce's earlier, maybe as well, because there's a lot of locations.
That's not a lot of prep, is it? But I guess it's fairly normal these days, anyway.
Yeah.
Getting I did at least the same amount of time that you're shooting.
I mean, at least I had a script.
Well, a script, yeah.
Because that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
So I had a script, even though it was ever evolving.
Right.
I did have a script.
Well, that's a start. Having the material is great.
Yeah.
Were there any specific references? I've read some stuff about. We talked a bit about Alicia wanting to kind of subvert the rom-com a little bit.
Yeah, I think not exactly like subvert it, but I think she was very aware of like this is a working title film and like of the heritage of what that means. Working title rom-com, Love Actually, Notting Hill. Having focus features as well, being kind of like with co-production with America. And she was just like, I don't want to make this like every other working title film. Like I don't want it to be like copy paste. And because those films are about maybe like 40-somethings in their career, they're generally set in London, people who already have lives and careers. And this was something in the north for younger people who weren't quite there yet. So it felt different. And she just wanted to make sure it really felt different, and we weren't just like copy-pasting all of those like tropes that people expected of that working title brand.
Sure.
And so it was more like interrogating every single thing of like the meet cute and where they go and he falls out in there. And like there was obviously certain things in the script that are quite cheesy that are part of a rom-com's chemistry. Yeah. But just like, is this the best way to do this? Is there another way? Is there a more authentic way, the more genuine way, where you don't feel like you're kind of getting things hammered down your throat in a sickly way? And so it wasn't really about subverting it was more just like questioning every decision and interrogating like what was that doing, and was there a better way to do it for this generation in this city?
Yes. Well, so what were the references that if you were trying to do? There must have been. There's the rom-com kind of formula that everybody knows and loves. But so, what were there some references? What were the main references that you both came up with together?
I think, like for me, Manchester obviously is like a massive character of the film, and when I read the script, it is in the script a little bit, but not as much as I thought it could be, you know. And like
was it written for Manchester?
It was originally set in America, an American uni, because actually this based on a BuzzFeed story that happened in the States in an American campus, slightly similar. For legal reasons, I can't possibly tell you which one. It's kind of loosely based, but you know, then moved on from that. And then I think they just decided maybe it would be cool to bring it to England and set it outside London, and they picked Manchester because the writer's from Manchester.
Right.
But when I read the script, actually, I didn't know she was from Manchester. I felt like it could be more northern, and I felt like it had been written by a Londoner a little bit.
Oh, right, okay.
So as a northerner, I pitched to make it as northern as possible.
Right.
And like I said, what about this scene in the classroom? Why don't we put this on a bridge? Why don't we put this in the canal? Why don't we put this in the curry shop? Why don't we put this here? And kind of like try to hammer in as much locations as possible.
Right.
And get as much of Manchester in the film. And I think it was more thinking about like Harry Met Sally and New York and how that is such a New York film. And we had this mission of like trying to make Manchester like a character in the film, like New York is in that film.
So did you use any did you use any references around Manchester? Kind of, you know, the finishes with the kind of the take on the
not really because
music video.
The music video. Yeah, like I mean Manchester. Like there's not a lot of movies shot there, and if they are shot there, they're shot for New York or Boston or period and it's TV there, and so we really wanted to like make sure we celebrated Manchester for the big screen, and it was really important to us and all the other HODs. And yeah, one of my like. I mean, there's loads of, if you know anything about Manchester, there's like so many Manchester cameos and Easter eggs like hammered in. There's everywhere you can squeeze one in, like every single small part is someone from Manchester or someone related to Manchester. And I had this idea of trying to like recreate little Manchester music videos in the film. So there's like, do you know the scene when he's in the university and he's walking down the corridor and the guy's like, I'm going to do it to Jennifer's a heart. Yeah. I had pitched originally that we should do the Richard Ashcroft Verve music video in that corridor as he's walking down the corridor and all these girls hitting him going like pervert, sex pest. But we couldn't quite make the dialogue fit the music video, so then we decided to make the music video at the end of the film instead.
It's a beautiful stroke, I love that. Tell us a bit about working with, within your prep, working with production designers. Obviously, it's a big relationship.
Bobby. He's from Manchester as well. He like lives in London. Actually, he's moved back to Manchester.
Oh, right.
After we wrapped on the film, he sold his house in London and moved back home. He's from Manchester and had like a real connection to there. And he's been brought up there, and it was really important to him to like celebrate the history of Manchester. And you know, we talked a lot about Manchester and about like Owen be representing old Manchester, the red bricks. You know, where his house is, that location with the bridge. That's very much like old Manchester and. She's like a student there and she's not from there, and she was like a different part of the city of all these new cultures and stuff coming into the city. And he wanted to really show like all parts of Manchester, the industrial and the modern, and celebrate that.
Had he, because as often happens, if the designer's involved before you, were there many locations already locked in that you were kind of...
Not really. I mean, I knew him from before. We'd done some commercials together, and we have the same agent, so we had a little relationship before. And like, I think when we were meeting, we were kind of talking as well. So, but we were all like about the same age. We were all kind of in it together. I was up there a lot with him, and it was a real collaboration. And it wasn't. And actually, we had to hire another location manager. We ended up having two because we had so many locations that they just couldn't do it all. So often Bobby would go to see one and I would go to see one, and we'd call each other and be like, this was cool. He's like, so is this. And so it was like, mine's better.
Great. I mean, that's a lot of locations.
A lot of locations, a lot. But he was great, you know, and really good with like textures and fabrics and history and character and things like that.
Did you build much?
Just the podcast studio.
Oh, really?
Because we couldn't really find one that worked, and we wanted Alicia's reference for that was like Frost Nixon. It was like the interrogation in Frost Nixon, and she wanted to have like screens and windows, and she wanted him to feel like he was getting interrogated, kind of thing. And we had all these shot ideas about looking through the windows and the screens and trapping him in this little box, and we just couldn't really find anything we liked. And because it was going all over every single location, because it's going on all the screens in every single scene, we just decided to build it and do it as a separate thing.
Okay. There's a few sequences that look like they would have taken quite a lot of work to get in. I mean, just practical locations, if you're saying that so much of it was practical.
Yeah, his house was tiny.
Right, okay.
Like tiny house, yeah.
But even the bigger, some that I was thinking about, the bigger ones like the lecture theatres and the big parties and even the nightclub at the beginning.
Yeah.
Lots of get-in.
Yeah, that night, I mean, the club is actually Manchester Student Union, it's for real, but they also do a lot of gigs in there. So it's like a black box, and there's not really any lights. It's not a club, so they only have lights on the stage for bands. So we had to bring all that in and put all that in. And, you know, Bobby was really amazing putting pracs. All the like yellow light around the DJ booth. We had to kind of make that DJ booth a bit as well. And his little sound meter and all the bar. And Bobby did a really good job of like loads of custom LED stuff built in. Right. And we put in some fake windows because it was like a bunker. It was downstairs and there was day scenes and night scenes. And so we put some fake windows in to kind of have some fake daylight in the background. So that was quite a lot of work. And we shot all of that on the first week. Because it was, we had to shoot around Freshers' Week and graduation and summer holidays. And
just to make it a bit more complicated.
So that was the first day.
Right, wow.
Yeah, first day was all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, right, get in there and get on with it. And all the big crowd stuff, the uni, that was all the first week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit technical because that's what we've all come here for. You shot on the Venice 2. Tell us a bit about why you chose the Venice 2.
I did, because I've used the Venice a lot before. And actually, like, Sean from No Dramas over there, he's going to laugh. Because I went in, I was like, I'm going to use the Alexa 35 on this film. And I was like marching and tested it, and I was like, oh no, give me that Venice back. I think I just felt comfortable with it, and I loved the skin tones. And when I started testing lenses, I would put like the same set of lenses on the Alexa and on the Venice, and something about it just made me happy. And the skin tones and the colours, the reds I really liked, and the red brick in Manchester is so important as part of the like architecture of the city. And I just felt like the Venice, straight out of the camera, the reds looked really much better for what I wanted for the film. And then we shot full frame as well. I ended up shooting full frame lenses. Right. So again, I needed a full frame camera.
Yes. I know that you're usually a PV devotee in terms of lenses.
Have been known to go there a few times.
But you didn't on this. You worked with No Drama.
Yeah.
And tell us about the lens. You tested a lot of lenses, but you ended up with a particular set.
Yeah, I've never used No Drama before, and I've not really worked in Manchester before. And so I didn't know them at all, but when I went up there and met them, they were just really like amazing, like super helpful, really friendly, nothing's a problem, like really care. Like they really care about.
You're saying all the right things.
No, but it's true. Like it's true. Like they really care about what they do, and they care about the crew being happy. And you know, all my crew will like love it there, so everybody was happy. But my baseline was like, if they haven't got any nice lenses that I like, I'm not gonna use them. That's like the end. If they haven't got what I like, then I can't go there. So I went there and spent like a day with Sean and looked at all the lenses, and I was like, no. And he was like, pulled this rusty old dusty box from under the shelf. Was like, what about these things? I was like, I love them. I was like, has anyone used these before? Nobody likes them. And I was like, give them to me.
Okay, cool.
And that was it. I was like, they're mine.
Well, what was your going into that? What were you looking for? Do you think?
I don't really know. I think something that felt honest, and not. I didn't want something. Alicia didn't want like anamorphic. She didn't want anything too bendy and weird and funky. She wanted something really honest. A lot of her references were like harking back to the old school, like Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, that kind of thing, like very honest filmmaking where it's just about the people and the characters, and you know, if you're not watching them in a rom-com, you're kind of doing something wrong. But I just wanted something that was nostalgic, but not too modern, not too old, not too vintage, but a little bit. And So I think they were the perfect blend. Like they are nostalgic, but they're not too soft. And when I shot them outside, I went around Manchester and shot some like recce stuff with them, and all the buildings in Manchester just looked amazing. I just kind of thought they were right.
And what were they?
Konica hexanons,
Right.
Rehoused Konica hexanons. Yeah.
And are they meant? What is it? A big set? Is it a short set?
Yes, it's got a decent set, but I only used 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
Because as you do, you always get your favourites.
Yeah.
It's like a...
Well, you end up with a show set, don't you? So you know, the
we had 2 sets, an A and B set, and then there was a couple of hero lenses. And then the only other lens I had was this like, what got nicknamed the love lens. This little special lens for just them two, when they start to like look at each other and notice each other.
Yeah, you can it's
it kind of
plays really
it gets
well.
more and more exaggerated
Yeah.
as you go on. And I wasn't sure. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be really cheesy, and is it too much?" So we would shoot the normal lens, and then we'd shoot that one as well.
Right.
And I was like opening I was obviously getting a bit excited, and I was like, "Oh, we've gone too far. Let's bring it back a bit." But then the actors kept hearing us saying, like, "What are you guys doing?" And I was like, "Get the love lens." And they were like, "What do you mean the love lens?" But then they got really into it.
Brilliant.
And then they would come to work and go, "Are we using the love lens today?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are." They're like, "When is it? When is it?"
And what was the love lens then?
It was a 50mm Noc Deluxe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The focus pullers loved that
Yeah, I
Team
bet.
1. Especially when Spike doesn't stand still for more than half a second.
No. He's a bit of a rising star, Spike.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like, they're both amazing. I think the chemistry between them is so good.
Yeah.
And they're so different
Yeah.
as humans, and it comes across in the film. I think that's what's so nice.
Yeah.
Like, she's so buttoned down and organised, and, you know, she had read all the psychology books that her character would have read, and had an iPad, and it was all highlighted. And Spike turned up with, like, a half bit of paper in his pocket that was ripped in half, and was like, "Has anyone got a pen?"
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what they're like in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
But they kind of had this amazing friendship. They gave each other things. It was her first time away from home, alone, because she's 21. She'd always had a chaperone of her mum.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was having this like uni life she'd never had because she was a child star. And he grew up with a family of women and is like just like this soppy northern lad. They're just both amazing. I love them both so much.
Well, they've got great faces as
Yeah.
well. I think that, but I think it speaks to the script and their performances, because I read somewhere that you, just in terms of the coverage, because the coverage is relatively low, but you kind of tried to lean into 2 shots and letting them get on with it. But that takes a lot of confidence for a director, but also relying on the script being good and them performing it well, because then they're doing the work. Right?
I think like one of the first ones we did was, you know, my favourite one is when they're in the hallway and, you know, they both first meet in that hallway. And I think that might have been one of the first ones we did. And we just like, after we did it, I was like, maybe that's all we need. And then obviously you do the other things because you have to. And then we were like, well, we can't just do 2 shots. Like, we have to do other things. But it was just the physicality of them, that she's so straight and he's all over the place. And the body language between them, and then they get kind of closer and closer. And it's just so nice to just watch them. So, yeah, and we didn't want the coverage to be really flashy and overcomplicated. We just wanted to watch them, really. So it is really simple coverage and honest coverage. But, you know, I think it's really nice.
And but to speak to Alicia's version of that, having done a bunch of episodic, this is her first kind of featured, was there a discussion about that kind of coverage and whether it turned into a bit of kind of TV, or was your schedule, you just didn't have time
I think
for it?
she was, you know, the coverage word is like a bit of a dirty word, and obviously in TV you have to do everything and you're cutting really fast, and she wanted to try and like hold things for as longer and make everything work. And like, there's some scenes like that we had it on paper, it was only an 1/8 of a page, but we knew we wanted half a day to shoot it, or a day. So then we would be like, okay, well, could that other scene be done in 1 shot so we can get more time for that one? So we had a lot of discussions about like how brave we could be with the coverage. And often I'd be like, shall we do this? Shall we do this? And she'd go, don't need it, don't need it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she's
Great,
really, she knew
brilliant.
she knew what she wanted in that sense.
Yeah.
Even though it was her first film, she'd done a lot of telly before, and she'd been in a lot of edits, and she knew that music was important, and she knew there were a lot, like beats and
Yeah.
pace, and she like knew when she was going to cut out stuff because she knew everything would be cut into music and stuff.
The music is huge.
Yeah, the music's such a big part of Manchester and the film. Like all the bands are from Manchester, and the song that he sings is written by an up and coming like amazing Manchester artist. And
But he didn't write it, I think.
no, this Anthony Schmerich wrote it.
Okay. Tell us a bit, because there's the way that it dealt with kind of devices and the social media thing, which is obviously quite a big thing. And I again read somewhere about every project these days seems to involve looking at somebody's phone because it's part of everyday life, but it doesn't make for the sexiest of shots.
No.
And I think there's almost one shot, an over of him looking at Instagram.
I know, and it's a film about like some guy sending an email.
Yeah.
And then everyone looking at their phone.
Yeah, it's not the sexiest, but
No.
I think the one of the coolest scenes is the bit where he starts to, all the emails come back in.
All the Emilys
All the
appear in his
Emilys.
bedroom, yeah.
Yeah. How did you...
The horde of Emilys, as we called them.
Yeah. How did that happen? You say this was in a location as well.
Yeah,
So in
that was like a tiny, tiny house. Like Henry, the Steadicam operator, we even had to be like, can you even fit through that door with your rig? And he's like, I might just fit. And then trying to move around this tiny bedroom, round the bed with all the Emilys coming in and out behind him, and everyone's ducking and trying to fit any light in there. It's impossible. But that all came about of like literally that scene is 1/8 of a page of him on his bed at his laptop, and it's a phone call between the two of them, and he's like, I've got all these emails, and then a shot of his laptop, and that was it. And we were just like, oh no, I can't do it. I was like, I don't want to just film all these emails. And Alicia was like, no way, we've got to find another way. So then we had this idea. She was like, what if they all stopped popping up in his bedroom? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then everyone was like, oh my God, that's going to cost so much money in VFX, we can't afford it. And I was like, I'm sure we could just do it in one shot. And everyone's like, no, don't. How long is that going to take? And we had a whole day. We took like almost a whole day to do that. But obviously it meant we had to clear a whole day's worth of other stuff in the schedule. So we did like a day upstairs and a day downstairs, basically. But even just trying to rehearse that was a nightmare, trying to get like 50 people in the house of one tiny door, up this tiny staircase. The ceilings are so low, and it was really hot. And
the timing is
the
obviously...
timings, the timings. But it was great. It worked really well.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, no VFX needed.
Yeah, it's great. How much money could you save? Amazing. I love that.
Yeah. And it's just fun as well. It's really fun. And then I think it also helps with this feeling of, we've also wanted this feeling of like, he can't escape it. Like, that's what social media is. It spreads really quickly. And it's like, suddenly he's this like incel person and the paper's writing about him and everyone's talking about him. So we wanted to start straight away with like, he was surrounded by these people and he can't escape it. Wherever he goes, they're just going to follow him. So yeah, it's fun.
You mentioned Henry, who's your Steadicam operator, and did a camera, because I know for a fact that you like to operate.
I do.
Was it? How was it on having an operator?
Well, yeah, it was the first time I've done it, and I remember when I called Henry up and I was like, okay, I want to put you on air, but I don't know how I'm going to handle it. And he's like, it'll be fine. But I think my reasoning for it was because I was going to Manchester. I knew we'd have loads of Steadicam. I knew that I kind of wanted the same person all the time. I wanted the same person to understand the language of the film. Rather than dailies. I didn't want different people coming in and out. I also knew that it was Alicia's first film, and like we had a massive ensemble cast with loads of locations. And I was like, it might be better if I like let it go and concentrate on lighting and concentrate on her and actually get some support and like take that benefit of having an operator who can talk to the grips and, rehearse shots and like help me out. And then I do B. And Henry had also went to Manchester Uni, so he had a connection to Manchester. I think everyone has some connection to Manchester. I think it was like a prerequisite of getting the job. And I'd known Henry before. We'd never worked together, but I'd known him for a long time. And yeah, it was the first time we worked together, but not the last. We've been doing stuff together since. Brilliant. Because he's great. A new relationship, that's fantastic. Yeah. You had a number of firsts. Henry, Kieran Waits, gaffer. Yeah. Lovely Kieran. Stuart Gibson, key grip. Yeah.
You worked with him?
Yeah, mostly local people I've
Yeah,
not
yeah.
worked with before, to be honest. Like Stu was a local grip, the DIT was another local person. Loads of new people I never worked with. Mostly new people actually. Like Louise as focus puller was probably one of the only people who I actually had a relationship with.
Right.
So it was so nice to have Louise there, to have someone I knew.
Yes.
It's like a comfort blanket.
Yes.
I know
Well,
somebody and
that's
somebody knows
only-
me.
That's only fair though, right? Having somebody on your side.
And also she's from Manchester, so it's perfect. Are you getting the gist of it now?
Yeah.
All roads lead to Manchester.
It's all coming together. Of course, in post, you work with Jatine, which is you've worked together lots and lots.
Yeah, he's done most of my long form stuff, at Harbour.
Right. Did you get much time in prep to set anything up in terms of that, of the colours?
Yeah, so I did lens tests and stuff around Manchester, and then I also did makeup tests with the cast, and then took them all to Jat in London, and we did like a lot session and showed him some of the references, and like it wasn't like a crazy, it's not a crazy lot, just something like with a bit of contrast and a bit of highlights and just to make it all nice, and little lens profiles because the lenses, some of them were a bit different to match them up and stuff. But yeah, we had quite a decent time for the grade, which was nice, and we have a really good relationship because we've done loads of stuff together.
Sure.
So we can just get through stuff really fast and try things, and he has similar taste to me, so it's really easy, and he's just great.
Fantastic. Well, I've come to rushed through that. Look at that.
Let's go talking really fast because I'm
You're
nervous.
talking very quick. You're doing great. Has anybody got any questions? I should put my glasses on because I can't see anything.
Also, actually, Henry shot loads of second unit for the film, I should say.
Right.
Like a lot of them, that's another reason to have an operator.
Yes.
Or like I knew I was going to have to send someone off, and it just made sense to have someone that was there all the time. So a lot of the like cycling, the track and vehicle stuff.
Yeah.
If it was like a single camera day, Henry might go off with a track and vehicle and the key grip and do all this cycling, and then I would stay with Alicia and the B camera and do like something on my own. So we like tag teamed. It was quite good. We did like whatever the film needed on that day. We would be like, who's going to do this bit and who's going to do that bit.
Cool. How often was it did you use two cameras?
I don't know. What do you think, Henry? Are you listening? Quite a bit, I think, right?
Well, we would just sort of tag team it together.
I would always make him do Spike because he moved around too much.
Right.
And Rach would do all the handheld. which we talked about.
The fun stuff.
They'd be like, yeah, you do that bit, and then we'll have a Steadicam shot, you do that bit.
Yeah, I was like,
And then you come back in.
Yeah, you get your Steadicam rig ready while I do all this fun handheld.
Don't give him any handheld. Oh,
well, it's too precious to me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought that's the one hard thing that is the film. Most of it isn't handheld, but when there was little handheld bits, I'm like, can I do it? And he's like, fine, okay then.
You didn't get upset then. That was good.
No, we did do 2 handhelds at one time, but I think I then just kicked him out of the way.
Yeah.
Got in his shot.
Yeah, exactly. Ruin his shot. Has anybody got any questions? Henry, have you got any questions? There you go.
It was a brilliant film to make. I think it comes across on the screen that it was, it was fun. It was really good fun to make. And I think it was a very collaborative experience across the board, really. And yeah, it was brilliant fun. And I think it's a really great film.
Thanks, Henry. I'll give you your £5 later.
Okay, thank you. It was 20 quid. That's what he said.
It keeps going up. Keeps having to pass
it's
it
just
across
like
the phone.
Spike.
Yeah. Any other questions? These are free. You don't have to pay for these. This is
Thank you very much for coming. I absolutely love the movie. I just wanted to ask specifically about the long take with Spike in the bedroom, because that took the entire day. How many takes did it take, and what were the biggest challenges that you faced while doing this?
I guess a lot of it was just about actually getting the people in the space, figuring out where they're all going to be, rehearsing it, seeing if we can actually get around there, and then trying to light it because we had to get everyone in to figure out where they were going to be, and then kind of we had put obviously some lights in, but we didn't really know where anyone was going to be. And so, yeah, it was, I think we did quite a lot of takes of the upstairs because we either kept hitting things or they kept hitting us, or the timing. They would say, one of them says their line out of sequence, and you know, a lot of them aren't actors. A lot of them are actually drama students from Manchester Uni who we used for the read-through when we didn't have cast. And then we cast them all in the film, which was really great.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are just, like, never been in a film before. So, yeah, it was just... I think I remember the upstairs stuff before lunch, me and Henry. I think we were like, are we going to get it before lunch? Like, and everyone's going, if you don't get it, you know, you've said you'd do this. And we were like, we know. But yeah, just a lot of like patience.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of patience.
But it's worth investing in. It's like any one, right?
Yeah.
It takes rehearsal and it's theatrical and everyone has got to play their bit and the timing's got to be
The
right.
hard bit was going down the corridor and getting in the bathroom, if I remember, which was also right at the end. So it'd all be amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And then you'd get right at the end and you'd be like,
Yeah.
because you couldn't see the girl in the mirror because she'd moved, or you'd hit the bathroom door as you went round. And I think she was in the bath, and yeah. One of them was on the toilet and had to stand up, but Henry had to get around her. The downstairs one, it wasn't too bad. The upstairs is tricky. But yeah, it's just patience, I think, and just having a bit of faith that it's going to work. Yeah.
Faith.
Faith.
Any more questions? There we go.
Hi. So you said you had a lot of grading time. Was there a lot of going back and forward? I know you said the colour red was very important to you. Was that a big aspect in the grading suite?
I think just to keep the red brick of Manchester and like a lot of honesty. And I mean, obviously it's England, so the weather's all over the place, and we were quite lucky with the weather. It was quite sunny. A lot of that sun is real, and a lot of people online are like, "That's not fake. That's not Manchester. It's raining."
Yeah.
I'm like, it was real.
Yeah.
But I think just a lot of balancing, and then obviously you have a lot of studio execs, and it's a lot of face and skin and all of that stuff, and everything has to get signed off by people, and yeah, things like that, back and forth with that kind of thing. But you know, generally it's kind of a simple, honest grade, really. Even though we did a lot of work, there's a lot of work in there. Like some of the stuff that's harder to light, obviously you'd spend a lot more time in the grade. The stuff, the nightclub stuff, and the like Canal Street, it's all kind of there. Like Canal Street, we did all of that in like half a day or something.
Right.
Really. Yeah.
But was that a lot of that just existing, or did you put
Yeah,
a lot of stuff in?
the stuff in the handheld stuff down the street, that was half essays and then half just real people doing whatever they wanted. And we weren't allowed to do too much, but we strung a few festoons up and stuck a few things in where we could, as long as no one was going to trip over them.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But the grade, I think it's just a lot of, there's a lot of opinions when you're doing a studio film.
Is this your first studio film?
Yeah, first like studio film with like, you know, American and British co-production, yeah. But to be fair, they were great. Like the working title were really supportive in prep and kind of let Alicia hire whoever she wanted. She was allowed to hire like HODs her age, a lot of them in the same like part of their career as her.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they said you've got to have this older, more experienced person to hold your hand. They trusted that she was going to hire the right people for her, and they just let us get on with it. And I remember like a week before we were about to start shooting, I was like, at some point is somebody going to ask us what we're up to? Like, do we have to present something? Do we have to tell them? Is someone going to say no? And they didn't. And I think that's why the film is maybe quite good and quite young, because they didn't try and impose their stamp on us. They kind of said like, listen, off you go, show us what you've got. And
Amazing.
it was really supportive of them, like Tim Bevan and Olivia, the producer. They were brilliant, and they just really like supported her.
Great.
She'd worked for the working title before, and they trusted her, and so they just said like, you know, we know you've got this. Let us know if you need any help.
Bit
kind of
more
thing.
faith, even more faith.
Yeah.
I think it's
There was a
important.
lot of like positivity and like a lot of love and a lot of care, and like people really wanted like a lot of the locations, sound. A lot of the crew were from Manchester and really cared about doing a good job and celebrating Manchester. So there was a lot of like, this is a film set in Manchester, like let's all work really hard. So it was really nice kind of vibe, you know.
I think that comes over.
Yeah, I think it does.
Any more questions? at that. We've answered every question, every possible question. I've got some very quick questions that I'm going to ask you.
Oh, no.
That you've seen these already, so I'm sure you've come up with some great answers.
No, I didn't.
These are just some very quick questions.
You told me not to think about it, so I didn't.
Don't think. Is there a book that you're reading or referencing at the moment? A book?
I'm reading a book based on a script that I've had a meeting for.
Okay.
I'm reading an autobiography at the minute about somebody
Okay.
that I've had a meeting for. I
Yeah.
shouldn't really say too much
No.
about it. But
Okay.
it is very funny.
Okay. Good. So you're referencing something, it's a work thing?
Yeah, working.
Cool. What was the last film that you saw, old or new, where the cinematography really excited you?
Oh, God. Laurie, I should have thought about an answer.
You
for
should have
this.
thought about it now. And I said don't think. But
Oh, no, can I pass? I don't have an answer for that one.
anything. What did you last see and go, wow, that looks pretty cool?
The last film I watched was this film called Stardust with David Essex about wanting to be in a band.
Okay.
It was really good.
Can
I
I reshot
loved
it?
it. Yes. I looked it up because it was so good and I've forgotten.
Was it a BSC member?
Yes, I think it was.
Duncan will find
I
out.
think it was.
Stardust. Okay.
Damn it. Yeah, it was really good film.
Okay. We'll get to Duncan. What's your cinematic joy and what's your cinematic hell? And did it happen on this film?
Oh, joy is always like when I've handheld with no shoes on running
Right.
around. I always lose my shoes because I take them off.
Okay. News just in.
What? Oh, yes, Anthony Richmond. George Richmond's
Tony
dad.
Richmond.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
There you go.
Okay. There we
Tony
go.
Richmond.
So Stardust, shot by Tony Richmond.
It was great.
Brilliant.
Loved it.
So sorry, your joy is handheld.
Yeah, no shoes, handheld, running around and I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And you might get stepped on, but that's
Oh,
not.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll step on them.
And what's your hell?
Hell. Horrible people on set at work.
Okay.
Miserable people
Yes.
where there's no joy. Everyone should be happy at work, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should be.
Everyone
they
wants
should
to be there to make good films.
Yes.
Grumpy
Okay.
people.
There's just a couple more. You can only have one lens for the rest of your life. What is it?
I'm kind of like that 50 million.
Okay, the Noctilux.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Okay,
I kind of like it a lot.
there you go.
In the grade, I was like, oh, this is so nice.
Did you regret going wide open with that ever in any of the
No,
shots?
I just wanted. At one point, I was like, I should have shot the whole movie on this. But then the poor hexagons would have got left under the shelf
Yeah.
forever.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe that one,
okay.
A 40 or a 50. 40 is always good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like a 40, but I do really like that 50.
okay. Good, that's a good answer. And one word that you'd give to, I mean, you're not an old person, but to give
I am old.
one word of advice that you'd give to your younger self.
I would say don't worry about what other people think. And don't worry about being yourself, because that's okay.
Rachel Clark BSC.